Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I have a really exciting video for you. We're gonna rank every single Fortnite map from worst to best. Usually I do it in a tier list format, but I actually thought, I was thinking back to some of the Smith Plays videos and I was like, man, I really miss that guy's videos. And he used to do this instead of a tier list. He used to be like, okay, I'm gonna rank everything from worst to best instead of actually placing it in S tier, A tier. You get the point. So I want to do that today. We're gonna be ranking every single Fortnite map from worst to best. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Also, you'll just have to forgive me because I have the map on my other monitor here and I'm just gonna be looking at that as well as the camera. So coming in at number 21 is actually the Chapter 1 Season 1 map. And before you guys freak out on me, and if something I should have mentioned, this is all my opinion, by the way. This isn't like nobody voted on this or anything. It's just what I think. However, Chapter 1 Season 1 is coming in at number 21. I don't know if this is just because it's I personally don't like the map, but I also didn't play in Chapter 1 Seasons 1 and 2. But take a look at this map. What's there for you? It's all nostalgia. I always say if Epic Games came out with something like this today, everybody would hate it. Everybody would be good. Everybody would, the hate campaign that would come for Epic and be like, what the hell is this? It's something horrible. Because just imagine it. Just imagine what they would do if it came out today, right? I don't have too much else to say about this map. I don't think it is a very good map, and it might just because I didn't play it, but that is coming in last place for me. Chapter 1 Season 1. Now coming in at number 20, you might have been able to guess it. This is Chapter 1 Season 2, also the other season where I didn't play. So again, it's kind of like the same thing here. I played in Chapter 1 Season 3, and don't get me wrong, the whole video is not going to go like this. We're not going in order. It's just these first two. But again, this is so much nostalgia based. And I look at this map from an outside perspective. And I'm like, what is there? Okay, the prison's cool. Moisty Mire's cool. Wailing Woods is great. It's all nostalgic stuff. But how many POIs have we had since then that are better than this? That's just how I feel about it. But again, please let me know what you think down below. I just personally don't understand the hype behind this map, but a lot of people seem to love it. So I would imagine a lot of you would be disagreeing with me down below. With that being said, let's move on. Coming in at number 19, we have Chapter 1 Season 9. Now, a lot of people really love this map, and I can say there's one thing that ruined this map for me, and that was these slipstreams all over the map. Everybody seemed to love Season 9. Season 9 was actually one of my least favorite seasons, and not only that, it's because of the map. If you take a look at the loot pool, the storyline, the live event, Season 9 had so much that was amazing about it, but the only thing it was for me, this is actually one of the only seasons where I didn't enjoy the gameplay, and that was because of the slipstreams. No matter where you went, I'm not talking about the whole season. I'm talking about of course, this is the map. The map was horrible for me because of the slipstreams. Like I said, no matter where I went, no matter who I fought, there were so many slipstreams everywhere that I found myself getting third-partied and then died. So you had to play the games where you had kind of hide out until the end of the game, and I really didn't enjoy that. I liked fighting people. I didn't like just looting and hiding for 20 minutes. You know what I mean? But what I don't understand is that I'm in the minority here because so many people hold this map it's in such a special place in their hearts, and so many people just love this map. I love the loot pool. I love the battle pass. I love everything about Season 9, but the map just ruined that entire season for me, and that was only because of the slipstreams. Take a look at all the POIs. Sunny Steps, Pressure Plant, Paradise Palms. All the POIs there are great, but again, they were all ruined by the slipstreams. I could only land in the snowy area that's the only way I could really avoid them. So that's number 19 for you guys. Chapter 1 Season 9. Let's move on to number 18. Coming in at number 18, we have Chapter 2 Season 1. So when this map came out, it was very good because we were so used to the OG map, and everybody was like, oh my god, this is a fantastic map. We got a brand new map in Fortnite, and that was pretty much the whole hype behind it at the beginning of the season, right? But as the season went on, we realized that it was very bland, and then this will be a pattern you see in Chapter 2, but it's just, everything is just green. The POIs are just cities. You have the nice unique ones like Sweaty Sands, Slurpy Swamp, Misty Meadows. Those are all great POIs. Steamy Stacks even. It's just, a lot of the map is just green area. There's a lot of POIs and landmarks that could be there that aren't. So I don't have anything else to say about that one. That's a low ranking map for me. Chapter 2 Season 1. And moving on to number 17, we have Chapter 2 Season 6. I feel like a lot of this map is just that it was ugly for me. Take a look at the colors there. It was just a pretty ugly map, but I did actually like the diversity. They actually changed something, because with a lot of the problems we have throughout Chapter 2 is there was no changes. The whole map was just green for so long. So actually, the best thing about this map was probably the Aurelia Temple at the bottom, or below Misty at the bottom left of the map there. I loved landing there with the Scar and stuff, but honestly, there was just not a lot there to really make you want to go visit. Oops, sorry, I almost knocked over my water. The Spire is really cool. I love that whole POI, but a lot of people had problems with it because the builds get placed a little bit clunky, but I feel like that was really the only strong suit in the season, that and the Aurelia's Temple. Plus, I actually really like Stealthy Stronghold. That's a really good POI, but of course, this map, it just doesn't have a ton of offer, Bony Burbs, and they got rid of the Coliseum. It's just, a lot of this map was a little bit of a disappointment, in my opinion. Coming in at number 16, we have the map that we just played on, Chapter 3 Season 2. Okay, so what was great about it? The Chapter 3 map in its entirety is fantastic, right? It's a really good layout for a map, but The problem is there weren't that many changes. We got our map changes with the blimps crashing down. At the beginning of the season, it was really, really good. I liked the blimps in the air, and it was really interesting with the no build, right? It was something different. We had like POIs that were really high. Like we saw in Chapter 1, Season 9, everyone was like, okay, we want to jump on these blimps, and then we finally got the opportunity to do that. However, it was really, really repetitive, every single blimp. And you know what? A lot of this map just felt like it was IO this, IO that. No matter where you went, it was something IO. And it was cool at the beginning, but of course, like as the season went on, when we didn't get these map changes, it was like, how great really was it, you know? The map was just a little bit bland, and it could have done with some more changes, so that's where I'm placing it. Chapter 3, Season 2, excuse me. I'm gonna mess that up a lot throughout this video, aren't I? At number 16 in this video. Coming in at number 15, we have Chapter 1, Season 3. Okay, this is where I think that the map got a little bit better for the Chapter 1, and of course, this is where I started playing, so perhaps maybe them being a little bit blinded by nostalgia. I'm doing my best not to be, though. I actually don't think I was. So, what do we have that's great about this map? We have Tilted Towers, we have the OG Loot Lake, we have Wailing Woods, Giant Moisty Mire, we have the Prison, Flush Factory, and the Disco Place. This is where all the POIs finally started to come. This is my problem with the OG map, because it was a lot of just green land, kind of like the Chapter 2 Season 1 map, and that's what they tried to replicate, if that makes sense, and then it failed perfectly. There's just way more going on this map compared to the previous seasons, and you're not running around just looking at green stuff. You're finally running into Tomato Town, you're finally running into the crates, you're finally running into the factories, Dusty Depot. You get the point. This is a very solid map, and man, it's just like looking at it right now, it's just bringing back so many memories, man. My first drop ever was at Retail Row on this map. It was a great map, however, there are better maps, so this is why this is at number 15 on the list. Coming in at number 14, we have Chapter 2, Season 8. A lot of people hated this map, but as the map progressed and it got more corrupted, like, man, look at it, it's a really, really ugly map. But as the map progressed, I liked how it changed throughout the whole entire area. Plus, the pyramid was so much fun to play on with the cubes everywhere, and then you had the Kevins rolling around, the golden cube. It was just, there was a lot to do on this map, and it was a huge disappointment at the beginning, because after the Operation Skyfire event, it looked like we were going to get so many map changes after, because we were falling and the UFOs were crashing down everywhere, and I was like, oh my god, how many map changes are going to be? Steamy Stacks got destroyed, and then everything was just normal afterwards. You know what I mean? We had a couple crashed UFOs, and you had a couple slipstreams. By the way, this map did slipstreams right. Only in a couple areas, not throughout the entire map. Regardless, we had the fun Halloween place next to Holly Hedges. This is just, honestly, I really enjoyed the gameplay on this map, and there's nothing really bad I have to say about it. It lacked a little bit of changes, but of course, it was still really fun to play on. I feel like the pyramid really, really held it up like to a high standard on this map. It was a good map. I enjoyed playing on it. Moving on to number 13, we have Chapter 1, Season 6. Okay, what was so great about this one? Well, the Loot Lake. I really enjoyed Loot Lake here with Leaky Lake. We had the live event, and it just switched over, and it was really, really interesting. Plus, we had all those corrupted areas, and I particularly really, really enjoyed the one inside Wailing Woods, because it gave a little bit of diversity to Wailing Woods, because Wailing Woods was so much fun to fight in that giant forest. It was great to have that corrupted area with like shadow cubes, and then nobody ever saw anything like that before, so the gameplay for it was really funny. This is like a Halloween season, right? So they captured the spooky feeling really well. You could grab those shadow cubes and then hide around Dusty Divot or Wailing Woods. There's a lot of trees, there's a lot of hideouts everywhere. There was really, really good POIs. Chapter 1 maps, there's obviously better, but this map was pretty solid. Like, the POIs are great. You have all those OG ones like Haunted Hills, Lazy Links, Dusty Divot, Salty, Shifty, Fatal. There's a lot of great things on this map. However, like I said, there's obviously better, because it's number 13 on the list. I don't have too much else to say about this map. It was pretty solid. The corrupted areas were great. Moving on to number 12, we have my favorite season of all time, Chapter 2, Season 7. However, as I always talk about, this is my favorite season in Fortnite history, but the map was lacking a little bit. Like, the map wasn't bad. It's just like, like, it's better than the maps we've talked about, but of course, it's nowhere near the top 10. Okay, so what was great about this map? Not that it was all green, because I'm looking at that and I was like, man, that's probably one of the biggest problems about this map. The worst part about this map was the center POI. There was no center POI. It was like, oh my god, the spire just blew up and something fantastic's gonna be there, and then we got nothing. However, what was great about it was Corny Complex. That was a fantastic POI. We could go underground, it went deep, it had storyline routes, and it was just a lot of fun. Plus, we had those houses, and we had Holly Hatchery with all the alien stuff. There was a lot of map changes. There was a lot of little map changes here that really fit the season theme, and it was like Believer Beach, for example. There was like the alien parties, the cosmetics, or the Cosmic Summer event. It was really cool. There's a lot of like little touches on this map that made the season really fun. However, the gameplay was just solid. There's nothing better about it. There's nothing, like, no POIs here that really stick out besides Corny Complex. Other than that, the gameplay just really held up the season, but for the map itself, it's stuck at number 12. There are way better maps in this, but we're almost in the top 10. Let's move on to number 11. Coming in at number 11, we have the season that we're in right now, Chapter 3, Season 3. What's great about this? Okay, let me tell you, the rotating POIs are something like we've never seen before. It is really, really cool. I like that you drop some somewhere, and then the POI rotates and shifts, and you never know what you're exactly going to drop into. A lot of people are actually really annoyed, like my friends, for example. They get annoyed that the tree's on the map and you can't see where it's going, but I'm like, I love that. I love not knowing what's going to be there. What is it going to be? Coral Castle? Is it going to be Neo Tilted? I like that a lot. Kind of makes me think about, like, what if there was like a no HUD mode? That'd be really, really fun. But the new biome is something else that's really, really great. It's just visually appealing, and the whole gameplay throughout it, the slurp mushrooms, and we have some chapter 1 POIs coming back, the reality falls. That is a really, really solid new biome, and the rest of the chapter 3 maps, honestly, just a straight W. It's a really, it's the layout for it's just really perfect. I like this map a lot, and that's why it's sitting at number 11. All right, guys, we're busting into the top 10 now, and the first one in the top 10 coming in at number 10, we have chapter 1 season 5. What a great map this is. Oh man, if you want to talk about the OG map, I think this is better than the OG map. Like you talk about, because honestly, obviously I rated chapter 1 season 1 and 2 down at below. Chapter 1 season 5, the desert biome was a lot better than the Moisty Mire biome. Paradise Palms, the racetrack, the gas station, Gus, it was all so much better, and that whole area was great. The mountains were laid out perfectly. I have nothing but good things to say about that entire biome, but that's not it. We have Viking Village, man. Viking Village is one of the best POIs, or landmarks. I guess it's not even a POI, one of the best landmarks in Fortnite history. We have Risky Reels, Lazy Links, Dusty Divot, every single POI, except I'm not a big fan of Pleasant Retail personally, but every other landmark, POI, every little house that you visit on this map is just amazing. This whole season's map was great. I have nothing but good things to say about it. Wailing Woods was perfect. Tomato Temple, a little bit better than Tomato Town in my opinion. It made for some interesting gameplay, but Tomato Town is just like, oh, you got rid of Tomato Town. That's such a nostalgic feeling. But however, Tomato Temple was arguably better. Everything about this map is great. All the POIs. I love this map. I want to know what you guys think about this one in particular. I think this is one of the best seasons of OG Fortnite history. Moving on to number 9, we have chapter 3 season 1 now. This is a brand new map in Fortnite, so that a lot of hype was here, and then I was really skeptical when this map first came out because of how chapter 2 entered. In chapter 2 season 1, at the beginning everyone was so happy, and then we realized the map kind of sucked. However, this map didn't suck. We like the map I'm showing you right now, it changed a lot throughout it, and that's what I really liked about it, because we had the snow bearing tilted, we had all the stuff undercovered, we had undercover Colombo. There was a lot of stuff for us to play around and visit. We had some OG POIs to visit, like Greasy Grove. The desert biome was really cool first. Now I'm getting a little bit tired of it personally, but in chapter 3 season 1, I thought this was a great change. We still had the Butter Barn, we had the Daily Bugle, Sunny Steps. This is just the entire, it's not so much about the POIs here, it's about the layout of the map and the mountains. I really, really enjoyed the gameplay with all these mountains, and then Command Cavern came up. It's not there yet. You can't see the POI names, but there was so many good things about this map. It just made for a really, really fun season to play on, especially, and it worked really well. There was trees spread out everywhere for the Spider-Man Mythic. Just when Epic Games was structuring this map, I can tell they knew what they were doing. They learned from their mistakes and then took everything that was good and left it on the map. This is a really, really solid map, so it's why it's sitting at number 9 on this video. Moving on to number 8, we have Chapter 1, Season 4. I don't know about you guys. A lot of you guys will probably put this map at number 1 and 2, but man, let me tell you, here's why I have it over, because I probably enjoyed Chapter 1, Season 5 over Season 4. However, I think this map personally is way better. Take a look at Dusty Divot. Dusty Divot carried this season with the hop rocks there, and it looked like the Thor base in the middle. It was just nothing but chaos there. Landing at Dusty Divot at the start of season 4 was more fun than Tilted Towers ever was, and I will die on that hill for my opinion. But regardless, Moisty Mire was great here because it turned into all the superhero stuff, and this version of Moisty Mire was way better. It was much more fun to play in, and it wasn't just swamps. You had all the green screens in the prison. But don't get me wrong, there was so many meteor crashes too, and that's the best part about it. I was just looking at prison, I'm like, oh yeah, there was a giant crater in there. Those were all really fun to visit. We had the introduction of Risky Reels. That Risky Reels was so much fun. Remember the Search 7 Chests at Risky Reels challenge, man? This whole map is amazing. Everything about this map is perfect. I love it. And even without the desert biome, even without the biome changes, this map was so much fun to play on. No matter where you went, you were having fun playing Fortnite, and it was great, and that's why it's sitting at number 8. However, there are better maps in my opinion. Coming in at number 7, we have Chapter 1, Season 7, one of the best seasons in Fortnite history. Now, first off, I was really sad to see Risky Reels go. I was really, really sad to see it go, but the block was infinitely better. To see the community's creations on the map was fantastic, and plus, it changed all the time. We never knew what was going on there. Some of them were OP. It was great. I love the block. It was fantastic. However, the new winter biome. This is the first time we've ever seen a winter biome in Fortnite, and it was amazing. Polar Peak is one of the best POIs in Fortnite history. We have a giant mountain on the map, and I love that. It's like we're going to talk about Chapter 2 Season 4, spoiler alert, that's ahead of this, but that's why I loved it. Polar Peak was a giant map, and there was so much lore to it, and it changed throughout the entire time. A lot of people hated Happy Hamlet, but I personally really loved that whole spot. Like, the whole Christmas feeling to it was great. Frosty Flights was also amazing. We had the plains there. Just the entire winter biome was one of the best places to land. Like, no matter where you went, it was great. And then you still have the desert biome. This map is one of the best maps in Fortnite history. I loved everything about it. And speaking of Chapter 2 Season 4, coming in at number 6, we have Chapter 2 Season 4. Now, what was so great about this? It is the entire Stark biome and Stark Industries. I love the way that they handled this. They took a chunk from their planet and just dropped it on the Fortnite map. So, think about all the times where you were playing around. Look how high you had to build up. It's kind of like the same reason why I like Polar Peak. This was so much fun to play on. Even no matter what, you could shoot people from down below, you could shoot people from down above. It was really, really different to play in Fortnite, and that's why I liked Polar Peak so much, because of the elevation differences. However, this was a giant piece of land. It wasn't just like the little bit that Polar Peak was. It was just so much fun to play on. Even if you wanted to land at Stark Industries, again, talking about Tilted Towers and how much fun it was to land there, I had more fun landing at Stark Industries, honestly. You also can't forget about the Halloween updates. We had the Authority changed into like that Midas thing. I don't really remember what it was called. Regardless, the rest of the map was actually really cool. They changed it a lot up for Halloween, and the whole superhero POIs. Doom's Domain was infinitely better than Pleasant Park. This entire map was great. The Marvel season did everything right with the crossover. It was just, I had so much fun playing on this map, and that's why it's sitting at number 6. Guys, we're moving on to the top 5, and this one, I don't know how much you guys will really agree with me on this one. I am putting in Chapter 2 Season 5. Now, the sand biome was one of the best biomes we've ever had in Fortnite. It was so exciting, first of all, to finally get a biome change in Chapter 2, right? But the sand biome and the sand tunneling was amazing. Salty Towers was better than any version of Tilted that we've had, arguably, besides maybe Tilted Town. But that was so much fun. Salty Towers, it combined Salty Springs and Tilted Towers. It was great. It was like, I don't know how to describe it, because Tilted Towers was so big, and then you had to like find people. But Salty Towers, it was like Tilted Towers, but the size of Salty Springs. It was just way more fun to land at, in my opinion. Plus, with the introduction of Stealthy Stronghold, that POI was absolutely fantastic. You had the Predator there, the Predator's cloaking device. It was a lot of fun. Chapter 2 Season 5, plus we had the 0 point. You could build up the 0 point, you could rift in it, and it was so much fun to like try to get up to 0 point for travel, then people would shoot you down. There was so much fun gameplay. Plus, I'm not even talking about like the what do you call them? Not the hop rocks. I can't remember off the top of my head there. Those rocks where you could just, the 0 point floppers. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they're called. Regardless, those little rocks with the crystals were fun to play up. You could dash around, you could sand tunnel. You had the Coliseum, which it was really interesting because you couldn't break out. It doesn't even matter the rest of the map, to be honest with you, because it was a little bit more of the same. But the rest of the map was like, okay, there's nothing like special about it besides Stealthy Stronghold. I personally really like Coral Castle. A lot of people hated it, but that's just my opinion. I really liked it. But the whole sand biome completely carried the season. The best part was in the middle, so you found yourself fighting there a lot. Chapter 2 Season 5 as a season wasn't that great. However, the map for it was one of the best we've ever seen in Fortnite history. Let's move on to number 4. Coming in at number 4, we have Chapter 2 Season 2. Now, take a look at the POIs. This is arguably the map with the best POIs we've ever seen. We have the yacht, the shark, the rig, the grotto, the agency. Those 5 POIs made for one of the best seasons in Fortnite history. I don't need to tell you guys about it, whether it was the boss battles, the layout, the chaos that happened whenever you landed there. It was so much fun. And the agency, again, I feel like now that I'm talking about it, I was about to say, it's more fun than I've ever had landing at Tilted Towers. And I played there in the OG days, Chapter 1, Season 3, and 4, man. Like, landing at the agency and with all the vents and stuff. Think about all the stuff this map introduced, too. This is the first time we've seen stuff like vents and henchmen. This is created for such fun POIs, and the mythics were great. The vaults were great. Everything about this map is amazing. I have nothing but bad things to say about it. I loved landing everywhere on this map. It was great. Chapter 2 Season 2, sitting at number 4, one of the best maps in Fortnite history. And coming in at number 3, I had a really tough time with this top 5, let me tell you. Coming in at number 3, we have Chapter 1 Season 8, one of the best Chapter 1 maps in my opinion. So this, it was sad to see Risky Reels go, but I'm glad they moved the block and they kept the block on the map, which is perfect. It was a perfect spot for the block. Now, the volcano and that whole biome around it, the jungle biome, lazy lagoon, everything there is the same stuff that I said about the winter biome. This is a biome done right. It is so different. It is so diverse. I loved it. I love the different elevations, just like the Stark Industries. I love that you could climb all the way up to the top of the map of the volcano and then see the other side of the top of the map with Polar Peak. And then even if you could like take, I always took some random snipes over there. You saw some clips every once in a while, someone getting a random long shot kill. Think about every POI you have here. And Loot Lake, by the way, it was way better. It's just finally growing back in. So they didn't change the winter biome or the Paradise Palm biome. It was so good. Typically I complain about that, but it was so good. I'm glad they left it untouched. Polar Peak, of course, like it was, I can't remember, no, it melted in Season 9 though. Polar Peak was still standing strong. However, The whole new biome was great. Dusty Divot was great. Tilted Towers is still there. The soccer stadium, Snobby Shorts, Fatal Fields, and most importantly, there was no slipstreams. So you could actually enjoy all of these POIs no matter where I went on this map. I had fun playing. This is one of the best maps, man. I miss it. I miss it. I wish we could play on it once again. You know, it's something someone's going to create with modding probably, is like they're going to perfect some of these old maps that we all loved, right? But this season, man, one of the best seasons in Fortnite history and one of the best maps in Fortnite history. We're down to the top 2, guys, man. Okay, ready? Did you forget what it is? Chapter 2, Season 3. This water map was some of the most fun I have ever had playing in Fortnite, ever. Who expected the map to get flooded? We expected it after the live event, but who expected it? And then again, we were talking about Noah's Ark, right? But we never expected it to the extent that we had it. Think about the POIs, okay? We had the Fortilla, Rickety Rig, the Authority. Those were great. Those were new. Those were amazing. However, what Epic Games did with this season is they also changed up every single POI except for Misty Meadows, and we had the introduction of Catty Corner, by the way. Misty Meadows, Lazy Lake, and Retail Row were the only ones untouched. We had everything else like Holly Hedges, Sweaty Sands, Pleasant Park, Steamy Stacks. They were all changed, and it was flooded, and it was so weird to have build fights in the water. And you would think, like, if in this, looking at this map in theory, if you didn't play it, you'd be like, I don't want to swim everywhere. But the way Epic Games incorporated this and these little bits of land that you could like float on, and plus the map changed throughout the season, I wish it would have been a little bit slower, but this was some of the most fun I have ever had playing in Fortnite. You could see the POIs underwater. You could see, like, oh my god, Risky, where are you? You'd stand like on top of a house or something. There was enough room to build and fight. This is one of the best designed maps Fortnite has ever made. I have nothing else to say about it. Like, remember, I miss it. I miss playing on this map. Like, I don't know what else to say. It was great. It was fantastic. I loved it. That's number 2 for me. Chapter 2, Season 3, one of the best seasons in Fortnite history and one of the best maps in Fortnite history. All right, guys, we're moving on to number 1. And you guys are probably going to hate me for this one, at least the majority of you guys. I have Chapter 1, Season X. Yep, I'm not kidding. That is one of my favorite seasons in Fortnite history. The map was great. I loved every single gimmick there. Every single POI that was new. We had Gotham, we had Greasy Grove back, we had Retail Row, Moisty Ponds. Every single one of those had a gimmick, and I loved that. I loved the change that came with every single thing. Like Taco Time for Greasy Grove, that was weird. It was fun. Everybody started dancing, right? You entered Moisty Palms. You could play as a prop. You could go to Retail Row and find some zombies. Plus, don't forget, you had the meteor, and that was really cool. You could finally see where the 7 came from, and it was really fun landing on the meteor and shooting down from that. We had the return of Dusty Depot. We had the 0 point at Loot Lake, and I didn't even mention Starry Suburbs yet. It was one of the best POIs in Fortnite history, because Starry Suburbs, like, we finally got to see those broken down houses come back, and then it was built up in such a nice area. Then you had Shooting Stars that gave you loot, the gold TAC SMG. We had Pressure Plant, which was, again, one of the best POs in Fortnite history. No matter where you went on this map, was great. Plus, don't forget, after the final showdown, you had that giant caddis monster, the skeleton laying there. Everything about this map, again, I find myself saying the same thing for these top 5. No matter where I went on this map, I had so much fun playing, whether it was Sunny Steps to Pressure Plant. I could land anywhere and still have fun on this map. And then no matter where you entered, and I didn't even talk about Tilted Town. I just looked at Gotham there. Tilted Town was there too, and then there was the first no build area, and people hated it at first, but man, how much do you like it now, huh? I liked it I was the OG no build liker. I have a lot of nostalgic feelings for this season, and plus, like, the block was there too. Haunted Hills and Junk Junction were still there. It was great. This whole layout for the map was fantastic, and I did, as much as I liked Dusty Divot, it was really nice seeing Dusty Depot and the factories come back and playing around there. They had some OG stuff brought back. Plus, we had Borderlands. I forgot to mention that one. Borderlands was one of the best crossover POIs. A lot of people don't remember that. It was only in the game for a little bit. We had the return of Prison, so a little bit of Moisty Palms and Paradise, or excuse me, Moisty Mire and Paradise Palms. They mixed it together. It was just, this map was built so right, and I don't know why people always hated it. I don't know why people always hated the gimmick. Perhaps you could take them out of Arena, and I don't, maybe that makes sense, like the arena players wouldn't like it, but for the casual players, why didn't you guys like this map? No matter where you went, there was a new fun gimmick to play around with, and it offered diversity, just like what we see with the rotating POIs now today. It's just, I loved it. I loved everything about this map, and to me, that's coming down at number 1 in the best map in Fortnite history, Chapter 1, Season X. But guys, with that being said, I'm going to put an end to this video today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down below. You probably hate my rankings for Chapter 1, Season 1, 2, and 10, so please let me know where you'd range it. If you have time, drop it down below. Write down your ranking for every single map in Fortnite history. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. video. If you're new here and you enjoy the content, please hit the like button to help out the channel a ton, and subscribe if you're brand new. Check the description down below for links to all of my other channels, as well as a link to Real Ember on Fiverr, who will take care of all of your YouTube thumbnail needs. Remember, thumbnail is the most important part of your video, and let Real Ember take care of that for you if you want to be a YouTuber. Lastly, guys, if you'd like to support me in the Fortnite item shop, use code Clen, #anime, #epic partner. Thank you so much for watching again, guys. I will see you in the next video. Take care.